Guess what I found? Guess what I found? Guess what I found?
Uh, I coin collection in your backyard.
No, I found something cooler than that, but way cooler than that.
A
So.
vintage basketball hat collection in your backyard.
No. So I'm in Ohio. You're in Michigan, right?
Yes.
Guess what I found? Guess what? And
An Ohio.
look at that.
An Ohio
Look at
beer. Ohio Light.
Ohio Light.
What? Who makes that? Ohio?
Columbus Brewing Company.
Thank you for downloading our recent episode. For more episodes like this, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com for more episodes. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to another Thursday episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Tonight we're talking about Final Destination Bloodlines. I'm excited to see where this review is going to go. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
I am maybe not as excited as you are. Did you do any prep work before watching this or after? Did you watch any of the other Final Destinations?
After, because I folded my arms. I did not, when the trailers came out for this, didn't care nothing until I started to see it has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
This movie is killing it, pun intended. So I said, okay, Eric, this has to go on the schedule. I mean, like, Gen Z likes Final Destination. So I kind of got jacked because I was like, okay, there's something here, right?
I guess, but
watch the movie.
Sorry, because I thought Gen Z was trying to cancel this movie.
Why? They seem to love this movie.
I'm getting the mixed because I don't know what generation is actually complaining and what generation is actually supporting this movie. But it seemed like, again, nowadays it seems that there are people trying to do, I don't know if it's a canceling or just hate watching completely. Probably a mix of both. Trying to just get the content, get the views, get the clicks, and just make something controversial when it really is not. But because of how unnecessarily violent a movie like this could be, or is, excuse me, I think that's what a lot of the internet is trying to go against and say, why is this? Whereas you and me, who like something like the Terrifier movies, or I'll also even say Human Centipede, kind of that thing where the more unnecessary it is, the funnier it is.
Yes,
at least,
I would say
at least
that.
to me. The same goes for like what we do, or like the monkey earlier we did this year. And a lot of those deaths are just so off the wall, silly and crazy that it's comical.
I think it's a mixture of both because, there's those clips on TikTok. Wow.
Whoa, look at you.
There's
Day of the Dad for sure.
Oh, that's you.
Day of the Granddad,
On
huh?
TikTok, back in my day, on TikTok, they do those night vision theater thing, where they put the camera and they do the audience's reactions.
Okay, yeah.
It's all kids. It's all 20-somethings.
Sure.
It's all 20-somethings. That's why I thought it was. How about this? It's probably a good mixture, right? Because the older millennials probably have early teens by now, maybe.
Yeah.
So we were early teens when the first one came out. So we're gonna show our kids. So maybe it's a mixture of both. But I was excited to see that this movie got love because I was a Final Destination fan. I don't know. Were you?
Well, yeah.
Fan of the
I was
franchise?
definitely. Like, the first one was amazing. I remember when that movie first came out, and it was just awesome, right? And then I've told my story about Final Destination 2 many times, and that one just will forever be the favorite, I think, out of the series.
Is it because the movie's good, or is it obviously just because of that beginning?
That beginning
car
was
accident?
huge, but I do remember a lot of other parts in that movie which will stick with me. One, and I think this applies to a lot of the irrational fears that like people have of like maybe garbage disposals in the sink.
Right.
And that certainly did it, right? So there are a few other, but The third one is where it starts to become campy, and the fourth one just is forgettable. It's
Yeah, I mean,
boring actually. Kind of it's lightning strikes 4 times. No, it's the same thing. And then we had talked about it off air how the fifth one really only had the one thing going for it, and that was the ending.
which you had no idea what was which made the fifth one good. The fourth one, if you remember, you know how they have like the first one had the plane, the second one had the freeway, third one was roller coasters. Very three good things that has general fears, right?
Oh yeah,
The fourth one was a racetrack,
yeah,
if you remember that.
Yeah,
And it's like, what? You know? And then it ended in a movie theater, if you remember that. This one, though, I'm sorry, the fifth one had the Golden Gate Bridge, which that's a good idea.
sure.
And then it ended with the plane from the first one. So that made it great. It has been over a decade since there's been a sequel. So that's why I'm saying I think Gen Z likes this, and I think millennials are liking this because I'm going to sit here and argue and say this movie is legitimately good, and this is probably the best that the franchise is ever going to get.
Really? Well, you had made a
Yeah.
pretty clean case as to why this is as good as it's going to get. So I'll let you plead your case there again for everyone
Sure.
listening.
Yeah, like from our offer conversation, I just feel like this is really good. Like this was in the hands of people that wanted to make a good, fun splatter film. And I feel that since this is so good, that there's nowhere else to go but down, right? I mean, like there's no because they're clearly going to make a sequel, right? It's going to be a year or two tops, and it's just not going to be as fun, right? Has there ever been a good Alien movie since Aliens? No. Has there ever been a good Terminator movie since Terminator 2? Nope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. And I think the money will talk. Just like you had said before, too. This movie is doing pretty well. And if it does well, then you can pretty much guarantee it's going to get a sequel, right? So the budget on this is a $50 million estimated. It made that back opening weekend.
Crazy. I think it beat... No, it didn't come out with Lilo and Stitch. What did it come out against?
Let's take a look.
Because Lilo and Stitch just got dethroned by How to Train Your Dragon. And why? I don't know why they remade that.
Well, that's the part where we had talked about before. All these animated movies are coming back into the live action. It's because we're running out of ideas, and that's how it is.
All right. I'm just curious what this went up against. Because opening weekend.
When did this open? May 18th.
So it opened on May 18th. So I wonder what it went up. Let's look.
Lilo and Stitch.
So it did went up against Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Oh.
get an actual day here.
Let's see here. Box office.
Release my. This is great. For yeah, we're looking this live up there. Anyway, while you're looking it up, are you looking it up?
Yeah, I got you. So opening weekend was 51 million. It released on May 7th. So domestically, gross total, it made 132 million. Not too bad.
Did you see what it went up against?
Not too bad at all. That's where I'm at now. So we're going up into May here. All right, gotcha. Look at that. So it went up against... It's January, February, March, April, May. It went up against Thunderbolts, Sinners, and Lilo and Stitch.
So pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. So it made 130 million. I mean, it's not making gangbusters here, right? It's not
Whatever, man. It's money
It's not
back.
like-
I think that's pretty good enough. And I think it's a mix of, because the way that marketing works nowadays, as we could tell from a lot of like the big budget movies, you can advertise this everywhere. Doesn't matter what movie it is. The final guess, verdict is in the audience. Once the first day comes out, people will go online and they will check to see what the audience says. They're not going to look at what the critics say because they know that that's a paid promotion. They are going to look for their favorite content creator, YouTuber, TikToker, whatever it is, and see what people are having to say. And if people are overwhelmingly positive, then that's going to get more people to go see it, right?
Absolutely correct. I'm silencing my watch. Yes. And because of that, it got me to go see it. It got us to review it. So that's why I'm excited about it. Also, I feel like this is the best acting because I went back and I power watched. Wow. Power watched. I'm on a roll tonight.
Yeah, you are.
All the movies. I went on YouTube and kind of like watched the scenes, right? And the only thing that I would really say that the first one has going for it, it has very good early millennial and Gen Xer actors that you want to see get it, like Kerr Smith, Stifler,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
I mean, that's what you want. And then after that, they didn't have anybody else that you wanted to see get it, which I think is a failure of the franchise. Like, I feel like they got to have like a person that you want to see get it, like a Stifler type.
Yeah, yeah. It's there's the thing about it is kind of the issue, right? Is everyone's supposed to die, so you can't really have a recurring character. They have one. They have Tony Todd. Rest in peace.
No, they had another returning character. Yes, rest in peace. They had the chick from the first movie.
Allie Lauder.
She survived. Yeah, she survived and she was in the sequel.
Yeah, she was in the sequel, and we got to see a throwaway where Devon Sawa, in a newspaper clip, apparently died because he got a brick to the head or something like that. Now,
Right.
did she? Did something happen to her? Did she die, or did she just?
Did Allie
Or did she just get out?
Lawler? Let's see. Lawler, Die, and Final Destination, huh?
Clear
Final
Rivers,
Destination.
huh? That's her name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Her name's
Clear.
Clear.
Her name's not Claire. Her name Clear.
Clear Rivers.
See here. Yeah, she does die. She is killed in an oxygenated explosion at the hospital.
Yeah. So
Her-
the most you can have in a reoccurring character is to have them bridge from one movie to the other, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Because death's always going to win.
Yeah. It seems
Right.
not too many movies can do that. Although Smile did that, where we had it transition or bridge from one to the other, right?
Yes, it did. And I think that these horror movies, so we can get into the review of this one, I think horror movies are coming back. I feel that stuff like Smile, this movie, starting to get a renaissance again. People are starting to have fun. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. I like this story. I really, really like the story. I like the characters in the story. I didn't think I would. And I like everywhere that it goes. Like, I don't have a complaint with this movie. Now, I will say, before we really get into this review, Eric, I hate to say it like this, but it's like, no, I don't think this is like, movie of the year, large bag kind of quality. You know what I mean? So if I give it a high rating, it's not because I think that it's good for what it is. You know what I mean? Like the directors and the characters and the actors knew what they were making, and they had a good time doing it, and therefore I had a good time.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I can't help but compare this to a movie like The Monkey that we did earlier, because it really does go from horror, like the first two were, to very much a black comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like a hard turn, not necessarily that hard of a turn. I mean, I guess you could see it going, but I think that's where a lot of that element is happening, where a lot of these movies are finding that new appeal, is because horror is very hard to do without somebody like yourself or like Peanut Gallery, who sit there in the first 10 minutes and are able to guess the entire rest of the film and then spoil it for the people who, like me, who are just like, I take the belief out of it. I'm trying to watch it, and you already guess who the killer was, and where they were, and it's yeah.
Oh no.
I'm opening my mind for what could be. I'm not trying to race the finish line here like some people.
No.
No.
Anyway,
On air.
but that's how some people watch movies. Where this, I think,
Right.
is like throw that away. We're just gonna have fun with it. We all know why you're here. You're here to watch some kills. You don't want the story. Although
Right.
this did have a unique twist to the franchise.
Which I enjoyed. So, I mean, I want to get into it. Let's talk about
Let's
it.
talk about it.
So, what I really enjoy is this movie starts in the 60s, right? We've never done that in a Final Destination movie before, so I have no idea where this is going, right? Oh, it's a prequel, right? I thought the whole movie was going to be in the 60s. I did not know what was going to happen, right? What I do know is that we get introduced to our two characters in the beginning here. Don't know their names. I forget already. Doesn't matter.
Iris and Paul.
Iris
Iris
Paul.
and Paul.
Iris and Paul.
Paul and Iris.
Iris and Paul. They're going to the Sky Tower is what they call it, right?
Sky View.
Sky View. Clearly a mini theft of the Space Needle in Seattle, right? That's what it is.
Sure, it's just a high-rise restaurant.
Yeah. First of all, I would never get to that because when they pull up to it, everybody's around, pictures are being taken, and the only way to get up there is this glass elevator going straight up on it, and that's terrifying right there.
Absolutely, it is.
That's completely terrifying, right? And she goes up there, and we know what we're getting ourselves into. Okay, the thing's gonna fall, people are going to die, and then as soon as she dies, she's gonna snap out of it, right? Like we know where this is going.
Yes.
But it was fun. They get up there. She starts seeing the Final Destination tropes, right? First of all, whoever designed it, not stealing a line from the Peanut Gallery, because I'm going to say something different. Why would you design a glass floor as a dance floor is completely beyond me.
Why not?
Because it's going to crack just like it cracked.
It did not. Okay, so like first off, like the Space Needle, or the CN Tower, or the Sears Tower, they all have something like that.
Not a dance floor.
Well, why not? You can rent those out to do venues, and you could probably dance on it. I'm sure you don't want to. Right? You know what? I'll play along. There's probably a weight limit. You probably don't want 100 people dancing on the dance floor, all jumping and down and stuff like that. But at the same part,
yes.
like it's built for that. It's built to withstand a lot of that. If it wasn't, then they wouldn't even allow it.
I know, but still, though, it's just it's weird to me. But hey, it's gonna make for a great opening, right? Because now the glass dance floor is cracking. We get the band doing shout, or everybody.
Now, hold
shout.
on,
and then
it's only cracking because of the chandelier.
Oh, that's right, because the chandelier fell, and it was a little glass tip point on the chandelier that fell, and that's what made it start to crack, right?
Yeah.
And then we get the band, and then like, okay, so he's here. Paul is here to propose, right? He's going to propose to her, clearly, and he allegedly knew a guy that could get him in, but he wasn't allowed in, right? Some grumpy old man that looked like Alfred from the original Batman in the '80s who said no. You ain't coming in.
You ain't cool enough, bud.
But then and then they sneak in, and they try to get drinks, clearly out of their element, right? And then they have to go upstairs to get some air. We also find out too that she's with child, and she has not told him yet.
Yep.
Right, so we know that too, right? They go upstairs, would not go upstairs. This movie's freaking me out already because mean heights. So they're up at the tippy top of this thing, and there's this brat kid who's going to throw a penny over, right? And then the security guard's like, "Don't do that, you'll kill somebody." And the kid's like, "Oh, me sorry, sir. I'll never do that again." Right? And he throws the darn penny over anyway.
That kid, I think I speak for everybody when screw that kid, right? I hope he gets it first.
And he doesn't. We'll talk
Well,
about
he doesn't
that.
get it first, but he certainly gets it.
Oh, he gets it. I liked it too, right? So this is where, boom, she gets the vision, right? So he's proposing, everybody's happy, and then they're going to go back downstairs. And this is where Peanut Gallery, I'm sure, got upset because the bolts that was holding things together were snapping because the kid threw the penny, went through the ventilation shaft, hit a propeller, hit a fan.
Yep.
Then that shot out, and then the bolts were coming out of the structure, right?
Yep.
And this is where all hell breaks loose, right? What happens first? Refresh my memory here. So, bolts fall off.
The glass breaks.
The first the dance floor breaks,
Yes.
and people start falling. Oh God.
Yeah. The dance floor breaks, and then the people start falling, and that was pretty vicious, man. You get people falling out of the sky. And one thing I like about this movie, too, is the warnings that it gives ahead of time. Like the music on the radio, usually, or like the signs in the background. So,
Yeah.
this one had
like,
raindrops keep falling on my head, and suddenly people just start falling from the sky.
It's crazy. Like one of the great things that I loved about this was that the people were falling from the dance floor, and then they were hitting the steel beams, and they must have hit that hard because they would hit it, and you hear like that thud, like that boom.
Yeah.
Right.
Titanic type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that blood was all over the beams, and they were just lifeless ragdoll bodies fall to their death. Like, oh my God, that is so brutal, right? And then they had this sous chef. They had like a flambe in front of people or something like
That's
that.
right. That's
and then
right.
That caught fire and people were burning. Fun fact, IMDb, that did you happen to pay attention? Because I hope you did, because the filmmakers made it a point that there was an old woman that was on fire walking around.
Yeah. I saw that there was the old woman on fire walking around, but please go on.
Right. So she's old. She's in her 70s, and she's a professional stunt woman, and this is her career. And she came out of retirement to do this one last time.
That's awesome.
That's why. So this woman actually did it. So I thought that was fun, right? And then you have this little black boy who goes into a food cart because his mom's a part of the band. So he's in this food cart hiding, and then this is where the Space Needle thing starts to topple, right? And the people are flying towards the windows. We did skip a part though too when the dance floor fell. Her boyfriend Paul was hanging on to big chunks of glass that was cutting his hands up.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Oh yeah. That was gruesome.
And then he let go and his head hit the beam and ragdoll.
You also missed the escape when everyone was trying to leave, and she tried to go for the elevator, and everyone was piling into the elevator. So we're at capacity, and of course everyone gets in the elevator. It starts to go down, and then the cable breaks, and that falls.
Well, not only that, but that mean guy who wouldn't let him through gets completely.
Oh yeah, that's right. He gets cut in half.
Too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, so much disemboweling in this.
So then, the
great.
elevator guy was just like, all right, the stairs, and so they all go to the stairs, and they run down the stairs, and then that little kid that oh man, I'm trying to censor myself. He runs down. He cuts.
Snot nose.
Yeah, exactly. He cuts in front of everybody. He goes down the steps, and suddenly the stairs crumble, and you can't go down the stairs.
Right.
And he kind of looks back like, oh well. And that's when
he goes.
That's when we get the scene where he's kind of he gets out of the stairs. He goes down to the ground floor, and he's skipping away. But as he was going down, that's when you get to see half of the sky view tilt and kind of fall off, and people, just like you said, are hanging on this kind of glass wall, just holding their breath, like, oh, no one move. And then the piano is teetering.
Oh, yeah.
And teetering and teetering. And then that damn penny comes back again, goes onto the edge of the piano, just enough weight to have it topple over. So it falls. Everyone falls to their death. And then that little kid starts skipping out of the stairwell to his freedom, a big old smile on his face, and then boom, that piano just falls on him, Looney Tunes style.
Smash him, his fingers stick out, and they kind of twitch a little bit. Like, of course, comedic moment. I would have been the guy against the glass looking at the penny, and I would have gone,
yeah.
So now it's Iris.
Iris.
It's Iris and this little boy left, and they're hanging on. The part of the movie, the only part of the movie, because I know it's fake and it's fun, that made me go, oh, a little bit was she had a very tight engagement ring that he gave her,
Ooh.
and she was hanging, and she was, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She was hanging, and there was these two screws that she was stuck, and then when she was falling because of the weight, the skin of her finger was coming off.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just like, oh, God. And then the boy falls, and she falls right to the camera, and her mouth goes right through the steel beam, and boom. Now, what's fun is that you would think that she would go, oh, we're all going to die. And we see that scene. We don't get that scene until the middle of the movie. It just cuts to modern day. Now, this is why I'm saying this is great. I felt energized talking about this beginning with you. I'm sure you did, too. I feel the energy, right? That's what makes this movie good. Like, this opening was great. It was slow. You knew what was going to happen, but you were wondering how it was going to happen and what it was going to do to what it was going to happen to, right? Like, this was an energy-filled opening. I will go back and YouTube this all the time.
I think, yeah.
Like, this is great.
For the people who are familiar with the series and knows how it starts, this opening is very much reminiscent of all the other ones. You already know, you can expect what's going on here. I knew before all this, even before, you can expect it already as the movie starts. But because the poster, literally, of Bloodlines is a skull blowing up on top of a tower. So when they show a tower, I think back to the poster and think, oh, well, there's a picture of it blowing up, so everyone's going to blow up in that thing.
Right. I would say, not controversial, I would say that this is the second best opening in the franchise. I mean, maybe I'm being nostalgic, but I did go back and watch the opening of the second one on YouTube, because I said as soon as the movie ended, best opening of the franchise. Right?
Okay.
But that second one, though, is so real, and it didn't have any of the quirky death traps like this one or the other ones did later. You know what I mean? Like, this one was they're just driving, and a semi-truck, not a semi-truck, but a truck with logs breaks, and chaos happens. There was no little death hints or death tricks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
This one is full of it.
I would think that I'm with you. And then close in the third, I would say, is the first movie, The Airplane.
No, I'm actually going to say that's last. Only why
How
I'm going
would
to
you
say it's the
that's
worst.
That's the OG. That's the opening, and just, you know what it was? It was the parts where, like, the side of the plane rips open, and you have those people that just go boom and just fly out. Certain parts like that, but I'm being biased. You just want something a little bit more more bloody.
This is great. How about this? I'll be honest. I'll go with number 2 is the best opening. This is the second best. I'll go with OG as the third best, right? And then I'll go 5 as the worst is the fourth one. The
speed track, speedway. Excuse me.
Yeah, that one's the worst. No, so that's the one great thing I like about the second movie compared to this one is that you didn't see all the little traps. It just happened, which makes it realistic. But now we get thrust into modern day. We introduced to characters that I don't know their names. You have it always pulled up. But we introduced to our main character. Who is she?
Stephanie Reyes.
And Stephanie has visions. She's having nightmares of what happened at the space tower thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What's it called again? I'm sorry.
The Skyview.
Skyview. I gotta get that Skyview. So she has nightmares of it, and this is another thing that I like that they do in the movie. For once, it's fresh. We are following a family, and that's it. We're not a bunch of friends hanging out or a bunch of strangers. This is a family issue, and I dig that because I feel like there's more at stake. more we don't want our family members to die. Because if you remember, they hated Stifler and Curse. Curse Smith was the bad guy in the first movie. They didn't care if he lived or died.
Yeah, yeah.
He was the jerk.
Well, what
right?
I like, again, this is a great twist or a great addition to this franchise. I like this. I don't know how they would even continue this in the seventh installment, which we can only assume that they're going to be making, because all the other ones, we know that the order that death comes after everybody is the order that they were supposed to die, right? Whereas this one's a bit different.
Okay, go on, because I will disagree a little bit. Go ahead.
So in this one, because Iris saves everyone from the Skyview, right? And they go on to live their lives and do families and stuff like that, right? And we find out later that, again, Stephanie goes home from college. She's been having these visions for 2 months. She is very distraught, can't sleep, obviously. And she goes home, and we find that her mom had left, like, maybe 10 plus years.
Her mom. Yeah.
From, when they were kids. And she wanted to ask about the grandmother. She wanted to...
Going on with Grandma Iris.
Yeah, about Grandma Iris. And everyone is in the family that knows is being dismissive. Oh, don't worry about that. That's nothing. Eventually, she persists and finds out that Iris is still alive, but she is a hermit. She's a recluse somewhere, just hiding in her own little area, not doing much of anything else, right?
Right.
So we're getting to the point where she finds Iris. She goes there, and Iris has this oh, hi, good to see you kind of a thing, and tells her basically what this is. Here's my book. Here's my life's work. This is what's confusing, is that she lives in like this fortress, this self-made fortress, and it's just like, this seems like the last place that you would want to be if you're trying to escape death.
It's a death trap. It looks like a bunker. It looks like a straight bunker against an enemy army. Like when they pull up to this, she has a metal gate, and then she has like wooden spikes just everywhere. Just everywhere there's wooden spikes. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're afraid of death, don't live in the metal spike room.
Yeah.
Like, go to a padded room.
It did make a whole lot of sense.
It's
so
silly. She shows up. Stephanie shows up, and automatic. Again, this was a great little clever thing that I forgot about. Right. So like she walks up, her grandma's like, "Hey, come on in," and when Stephanie walks in and shuts the door, the fire extinguisher falls down.
Yep, getting prepped.
And I was just like, oh. I just thought that was, at the time when I saw the movie for the first time, right? I'm like, oh, that was a quick, fun little, the place is old joke.
Okay.
Like, that's what I thought. And then, yes, the grandma has a book and tells her all. So,
Stephanie's not convinced, by the way.
Right. No, not convinced at all. But death is coming at them the exact same way as he's done in the other movies. 100%. Like, because the last people to die in the vision was Iris and the little boy.
Yes.
Right.
And I do like, again, for the faithful like us who have seen all these movies, we know how this happens. We know like what triggers and what the tricks that death has. It's almost like some sort of like, was it a Rube Goldman machine? Is that what that thing's called? Goldberg? Rube Goldberg machine?
Thank you, Peanut Gallery.
Let me look it up. Rube Goldberg machine, where it's the marble that goes on the track and triggers the balloon and triggers the micro machine car and then triggers the tennis racket. And all this kind of chain of events, right? So you can really see where it's going to start and what it's trying to do. Like in Iris's cabin, you could see that she takes her book, the magnifying glass spins around, and the sunlight comes in to magnify it and reflect it off of a mirror table to try to burn a hanging plant that's hanging from the rope. So, but what I like about this though, it does it the entire time in the movie, is that the characters see it and then they stop it.
Yes. They see it and they stop it, but then it's brought up later. Like you think that Death is burning the rope to the plant to kill Grandma, but really at the end of the movie you see what the real reason was. Death was preparing.
Yeah.
Right? But I love the grandma in this scene. She's so bat nuts crazy. Like like the magnifying glass is burning the rope of the plant that's hanging, and then she's having a conversation with Stephanie, and then she just throws a shoe or something at it, and she just goes, "I caught you, you bastard." Yeah. She's just talking to Death. I love it, right? And then Stephanie's kind of freaked out and she leaves, and the grandma opens the door, and she's afraid of crossing that line because she knows if she crosses that line, right? And she takes a deep breath. She walks outside. She goes, "Take my book." Stephanie's like, "No." And she's like, "I know what's going to happen." Takes the book. And then all of a sudden the windmill thing that she has up top falls on top of the
weather vane, yeah.
Falls on top of the fire extinguisher and then blows a pipe right through her face. Jaw busted this way open. Great kill. Blood all over Stephanie. Amazing. This movie's fun.
Funeral number 1 happens, right?
Funeral 1, the whole family's there, and then this is where Mom shows up. Daughter of Grandma shows up in a killer RV.
Yeah.
Right? And backstory on Mom is Mom was raised by Grandma, and Grandma told Mom, "Hey, crazy stuff is going to happen. I'm going to protect you from death." And then when Mom had kids, Mom said, "Hey, I'm going to do the same thing to kids that my mom did to me, so I'm going to get into an RV and walk the earth like King in Kung Fu."
Basically, yeah.
That's exactly what happened, right? So the family goes to the house to mourn Grandma. This is a great kill, right? The dad is the setup. Oh, my wife was so much fun watching this movie, right? So the family's all in the backyard having a backyard barbecue, right? Everybody's happy. And then they have an ice machine outside, and a glass breaks, and a piece of shard glass gets stuck into the ice, right?
Yeah.
And then the camera links to that, and my wife goes, "Oh, no," right? And I go, No. She goes, "What?" I said, "Nobody's going to die from glass in the throat. It's going to be better than that."
Yeah. There's so much misdirection in this movie, and they do a really good job with it.
Oh, yeah. That's like Final Destination 1 stuff.
Yeah.
Remember the guy that gets the cord wrapped around his neck?
Of course.
That's terrible, but that's like not in this movie. You know what I mean?
Shampoo bottle.
Glass on the throat.
Yeah. There are movies like that where I still check the shower floor before I jump in the shower. Make sure it's not wet. Don't want to slip and fall.
Whoop. So then the dad, okay, so everybody's grabbing ice, and then it's like a cat and mouse. It's like, whose glass has the ice?
Yeah.
What's going to happen, right? And then we get the boys jumping on the trampoline. Underneath the trampoline is the
rake.
The grass rake, and then the mom sees and goes, "Oh, there's the rake. We got to move," right? So many misdirections. But eventually the dad gets it by somebody throws their drink out or whatever, and a piece of the glass sticks out, right? Stephanie shows up. Dad's excited to see Stephanie.
Hose. So this is the weird chain reaction, right? Because they're at the outdoor bar. Someone knocks over a beer bottle. It turns on the hose, I think, and then the flexible hose starts to fill up, and it goes into the barrel, and then that thing, I don't know, because obviously it's expanding, it knocks over the rake that the mom put there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, knocks the rake over,
and it hits the lawnmower to start that, and right before that happens, before the lawnmower goes, is when. Who was it? Oh, it was the girl, the cousin Julia, where I think she had the glass in her drink.
She had
or maybe it was one of the cousins.
No. It was Stephanie's dad. It was the Asian dude.
One of them threw it out.
Yeah, one of them threw it. Yeah. He threw it out on the grass. Yeah.
Yeah, and he threw it on the grass, or whatever character did, and that's when. Uncle Howard was walking, steps on the glass shard, right? I'm okay. I'm okay.
Violent. Yeah, violent too. I would not say that. I'm okay. I would not be
So
saying
yeah,
that.
that thing went
Like,
through
oh,
your
God.
foot, dude. You are still with a smile on his face. I'm okay.
I'm okay. Then he falls on his back and straight from the happening, lays on his back, and the lawnmower goes up on the back 2 legs. Electric lawnmower, by the way. This is why you buy gas, people. And just gets his face shredded by the lawnmower blades. It was great.
awesome.
It was
Good
blood.
kill.
It was bloody. Not gory. It was probably the least goriest kill in the movie because you didn't see any carnage. You just the screaming and the blood.
Yeah, basically.
Right. Funeral 2.
Funeral 2 right after. So this is where we get the meat and potatoes, the reasoning, the happening. Stephanie gets the life work of Iris, lays it all out, and explains to the family. Do you want to explain
Bad
it?
timing. I can if you want. Bad timing on her part, though. Grandma died, and then the next day, Dad died. Uncle dies. So it's like, hey, everybody, let's look at my giant board and how we're all going to die. Like,
I mean, she was right, though.
she was right. So we get the whole family, and if I remember correctly, so nobody in that room is supposed to exist. Iris was the last to die at the Skyview. So because she lived all these years, and everybody that died before her is now dead, all those people that had families, their families are now dead because nobody's supposed to exist, these people. So death is going after the oldest all the way to the youngest, following in that order. Great idea.
Yeah, it really, the whole
Again.
timeline of it, I think, was great. The explanation
Yes.
made sense. Thank you very much. I'm on board. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm on board with it. And then we get the piercing, tattooed, crazy, the older brother's just like, well, I'm going to get it next, screw you, and all that stuff. And then what a great setup. What an amazing setup with the brother. Who is this guy? What's the character?
Eric with a K.
I love Eric on this. He's great because what a misdirection. Because after he is the naysayer in horror movies, the naysayer always gets it next.
Of
right?
course.
So he's working late at a tattoo shop and he's piercing a girl's tongue, which that freaked out my wife more than a lot of stuff.
Sure.
She was just like, oh, because the camera has to really show us the piercing of the tongue, right? And he sends her off, and then his boss or whoever says lock up. He was upset, so he tattoos Dad on his arm, and then we start getting the little death traps going around, right? Death's
The
there.
fan hits the chain that's hanging by the fan, by the blades or whatever.
He has a big-ass nose ring.
Yeah, the cleaning solution that's very flammable, as per the warnings all over the label. It falls over with the lid off and lights the floor, or soaks the floor. All this.
And all this.
Oh, and then he plays the music, Eric's death metal mix or tattoo mix or whatever, and the vibration from the subwoofer is causing the bobblehead to move. All of these intricate little details, all these dominoes being set up one by one.
Which again was fun. I was like, oh my God, he's gonna get it. And then what happens? The fan hits the chain gets wrapped around his nose ring. It gets stuck in it. Like, oh, that's great, right? And then he starts and then it gets wrapped around his neck.
No,
And I was like,
it stays on his nose, but because the fan
Nose.
is still going, it's wrapping up the chain that is stuck on his nose, and so he did have some slack, and now he's being pulled up by his nose.
Right. Because I thought this was a callback to the first one because it looked like, and I more likely wrong, but it looked like not only was it wrapped around on his nose, but it was wrapped around his neck, so it would make it look like a suicide, like the kid in the first movie.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what I thought they were kind of doing with it, right? And then all of a sudden, flammable, everything's on fire, and eventually he gets off of it, he falls down, and then the camera pans off, and you hear a scream, and then fire. And it's like, oh my God. And what a great setup, too, because the next day, Stephanie walks into her brother's room, the youngest brother's room. She's like, hey, where's Eric? Where's Eric? Nobody's answering. Oh, my God, he's not answering. And then they just find him on the street. walking, eating a sandwich,
Yeah, just
like nothing happened.
bothered that they would check up on him.
Right. And I'm just like, wait a minute, Death didn't come after him. So something's going on, right? Why didn't Death come after him? He's the next in line, right? And this is where Stephanie starts saying, okay, to the younger brother and to Eric, she's just like, okay, that tree cutter that's hanging against the tree is going to fall by the wind, and then this leaf blower guy is going to get startled by it, and he's going to accidentally leaf blow these kids that are playing soccer, and the soccer ball is going to kill you. And then Eric had a great line saying, oh, God, a soccer ball to the face.
How deadly.
And all that stuff. You don't see any of it coming, but what happens is the sister, right, whatever her name was. Julia comes out, yoga pants, getting ready for her walk, puts her earbuds in, leave my brother alone, leave my brother, and then passing him as a garbage truck. This is a really good setup, how these, because you're not even paying attention, because your eye is on Eric the entire time.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
Because you're like, how did he survive death? How? But no. Death's coming for Julia. And all of a sudden, everything that Stephanie said was going to happen happened. She gets soccer ball kicked in the head, goes into a trash can. He picks her up. The trash guy doesn't know because he's listening to music. Puts her in the garbage truck. Oh. And they're just running, trying to stop the garbage truck, And that girl, not only do we see her get smashed, we see her get smashed.
Yeah, that was
you know what I mean? She sticks her arm, and then like the way that the gag was rigged, it's like her face kind of moved like this while it was squishing, so like her cheeks and her jaw went up this way, and her eye popped out of her socket too. I'm
amazing.
Just like, oh my God, this is great. This is so good, right?
When the entire time too, because they're trying to stop the garbage truck. That's Stephanie, her brother Charlie, and then cousin Eric. The entire time Stephanie's like, oh no, don't worry, you're not supposed to die now. You're not next. And then like,
right.
and she gets it. And so you, the viewer, were just like, what the heck is going on? Like, wait a minute. Like, that order made sense.
Totally made sense. But this is where you find out a family secret. Again, great.
Back to the
family
board, back to the timeline.
Right. Mom admits that Eric is not uncle, is not his, he is the bastard. Literally. Mom had a fling with some neighborhood guy. So he's not full blood.
We were having complications and we didn't know, and yeah, we just tried. That was a great scene.
So then that makes you, now this is where I get a little frustrated with it. I'm just like, okay, so Eric is a bastard. And he's not full blood, so Death's not coming after him. Then why do the tattoo parlor scene? That's clearly there to misdirect us, to set up. That whole tattoo parlor scene was all set up for Julia.
Yeah.
So does that make us mad? I don't think so. I know so, right? Because he's not set up to die. But he had all the tropes to set up to die. So from tattoo parlor until Julia's death, it was all a setup. It was all total misdirect. It was smoke and mirrors.
Yep, exactly.
So does that anger you? Because not anger you, but does it frustrate you, right? Because that tattoo scene doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, sure. No, it doesn't bother me. I understand what you're saying. Like, should it bother you? Because it shouldn't have happened to him at all. It should have skipped over him.
We never should have seen that.
Right. But at the same part, I don't know. I feel like this was, because the one thing that they do say that, and Tony Todd says it, and then I think they all say it again, that if you mess with death, messed up things start to happen, right? And so I think that this was Stephanie's first, I guess, example of messing with death, because she was telling the family about it. Everyone else prior to this in that timeline, in that bloodline that she told everybody, they probably didn't know what was happening. They were just, thought it was bad luck or whatever. But she became aware. She's obviously a descendant of Iris, and so they know that it's coming. So I feel like that is maybe a ripple effect of death being messed with.
Death was giving a warning to Eric, the non-believer, that I can take you out like that.
Exactly.
It's a warning.
Exactly.
Right. So, who's the brother with the peanut allergy? What's his name?
That is Bobby.
Bobby. My favorite character besides Eric. I love Bobby. And I'll tell you why. Bobby is not a good actor at all. And I love him for it. He was so bad. He was such a baby face, literally, not a wrestling term. Like, I hated him because of it. I'm just like, this guy is privileged to no degree. And I just loved him so much because he was so naive, so innocent, right? He's the most innocent character in this entire movie.
Yeah. He was.
Totally innocent.
You're right, because, okay, so we're at the part right now where Julia is dead. Eric is now skipped over because he's the bastard child. So
Right.
they then have some believers. Now the family's just like, okay, well, you're right. And then Bobby's like, oh, well, that means I'm next. And so
Yes.
they're trying to figure out how they can, I don't know, get something. Oh, and that's when Stephanie finds in the book, in Iris's book, that JB found a way to stop it or figure it out or something. Their hair had survived.
Yeah, and somebody said, no, Mom says, I know who JB is. It's the boy that lived, and we got to go to this hospital. And they all get into the RV and go to the hospital, right, to go find Tony Todd. Now, I got a question about Tony Todd. So, when we get introduced to him in the first movie, I was under the impression that he was Death in human form.
Okay, yeah.
This is it still following that trend? Is my impression wrong? Is Tony Todd's character this entire movie like that little boy that survived? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are they retconning, or is he not Death? What do you think about Tony Todd?
I mean, maybe a little bit of retcon, because I wasn't under the impression that maybe he was completely Death as much as he was just a guy that worked in the in the morgue and knew a lot about
Yeah.
Death. But like, this added more to his backstory because he was in the other movies and you didn't really get a whole lot of flavor to what he was doing or like how he knew so much, right? You just got it that he just was the guy. He's the one that just kind of knew about it. There are certain characters in movies that just know, right? And to even go back into Smile 2, there was that guy that was in the bar, where the main character was getting the texts, the strange texts, and saying, like,
Right.
I know what you're seeing, and I know. So there's always seems to be like that one character who just knows, and like that's
right, and that's Tony Todd.
yeah. That's your part for the audience to give some answers. Like, I have some questions. This is going to help further it all along a little bit. So I think it's a mix of both. I feel like it's not necessarily a complete retcon as much as it's maybe just a continuing of the character. But like, he's been in... Has he been in all of them?
I think he's in all of them.
Yeah.
I think he's been in all of them. And, of course, you have a special place with Tony Todd because you love yourself some Candyman.
I do love Candyman. Actually, I watched another movie with Tony Todd in it recently. Was it The Man from Earth?
Oh.
And
I haven't seen that one in a while.
yeah. So that one, and then oh man, he's been in a lot of other stuff too. Obviously, he's hundreds.
everywhere. He worked.
Yeah, I was a fan of
Right.
Star Trek. Yeah, he's just been in a whole bunch of. It's always good to see him pop
Yeah.
up. So
Right. And for people that don't know, the actor Tony Todd is dead. He died of stomach cancer, and he looks cancerous in this movie. All due respect, not making a joke. Like, Tony Todd was a big guy.
yeah, he was a tall drink.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, when I say big guy, I don't mean fat. Like he was a muscular, big, tall dude, and to see him like this in this movie breaks your heart a bit, right? Because he is a horror icon. I would argue. You know, he's in there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's made his routes or made his appearances in a lot of TV and a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
He was in The Rock.
Of course, he was. Yeah, he was the guy that was against Ed Helms or not Ed Helms. Yeah, Ed Helms
Harris?
character. Ed Harris's character. Thank you. He's like, remember, I'm not going to say it, but he's like, excuse me, sir, but F you.
Yeah.
He says that in the movie. I'm debated as well. I found out that when he did his little speech at the end, when he turned and kind of looked at the camera and he says, live every day at your fullest, that was ad-libbed by him. He asked if he could say that to the fans.
Awesome.
So good for him. They get their knowledge, and this is where the movie kind of gets a little draggy because it's like, what are they going to do next? And it gets a little draggy after Tony Todd, but then once they come up with the idea of we're going to kill Bobby and bring him back is comedic gold.
Well, JB, Tony Todd's character, gives them two options to defeat death, right?
Correct.
The first one, if you remember, is you could kill someone, and then you would have the life remaining of that person.
Second way is to make your heart stop and die yourself, and then you can get resuscitated and you cheat
Another
death.
happen and smile, by the way.
Another thing happened to Smile. You know what? The murder thing's not too bad. I'm not going to lie.
They joke about killing a baby.
Yeah, that was... see, again, that's...
It's the dark humor there.
As soon as... This... I want to see a buddy cop movie with the actor who plays Eric and the actor that plays Bobby. These two together are hilarious. They're comedic gold together. Because they play off each other so well.
They really do.
Because they're walking by and they see an infant. And they're looking at each other. They kind of have that wah wah, you know.
Well,
like,
maybe.
Should we kill the
No, of course not. No, never. But you know, we could. Well, no, of course not.
No. I loved it. It was great. So now I'm getting picked up again, right? Because the movie forgets about Stephanie and Mom and the younger brother. The movie's focused on these two, Bobby and Eric. And here's their plan. Their plan is hilarious to me. It's funny as hell. We know that Bobby's deathly allergic to peanuts, so we're gonna make him eat peanuts. So they go to a snack machine, get Reese's peanut butter cups, but they didn't have the money to afford the rights, so it just says peanut butter cup.
Yep.
And
this ain't ET.
And yep. Messing with the machine, right? A little death trick, messing with the machine because the peanut butter cup gets stuck. We've all been there. Shake the machine, punch it, kick it, swear at it, because that'll work, right?
Of course.
And then eventually the peanut butter cup pops out, but the spring pops too, right? Sticking out a little bit, right? And then they get the harebrained idea that they are in now a radiation room, right? And Eric brings Bobby a wheelchair, has him sit in and says, eat it, and then when you die, I will call somebody and bring you back. Not a bad plan.
Really is not. You're in a hospital.
Not a bad plan.
You're in the right place. This is the way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad plan, but this is where the comedic stuff goes into play, right? Because then the death traps happen, and now the CAT scan machine,
MRI machine,
right? Yeah. MRI machine, thank you. Starts turning on, and it has radiation and stuff. And again, I'm laughing because Bobby starts eating it, and he's like, oh. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bobby eats and he gets a sigh of relief, and Eric's like, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, this is so good. I was like, I know. It is good, right? And then he starts choking, and then his cheek starts puffing out. It's just hilarious.
Eric's holding the EpiPen from him. Yeah. While this is happening, obviously the domino effect hits the MRI machine, and it is going nuclear magnet, right? There's electromagnet. Yes. This thing is going like super ultra powered magnet thing. Yeah. And you could just tell, like, okay, here it comes.
Something's going to happen, right? And then eventually it gets turned on so high that
the piercing.
Eric Eric gets the kill because he's screwed with death. He didn't believe in death. He gets the nipple piercings out first, phew, right?
Those the nose,
And then you
ears,
get-
nipples, and then the Prince Albert.
With the Prince Albert, which was unnecessary, but it was funny to have it drag. Oh, Peanut Gallery doesn't know what the Prince Albert is?
She hasn't completely seen the movie. I'm trying to not say a whole lot to spoil it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, she.
Yep. Good night.
Oh.
She wants to keep some of the mystery for when she watches the rest of the movie there. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the piercings come up, and of course he has a Prince Albert. Why wouldn't he? And that doesn't tear off of him. It drags him to the machine. And then he sticks to the machine like this. And I look at my wife, and I was like, oh, he's going to get split in half, bud. Right? And then, like, his shirt comes up, so you see his stomach, and you start seeing his intestines start to... Oh, God, right?
But then the wheelchair comes in.
And the wheelchair it hits him, right? And then it's pushing, and then boom, he gets split in half, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Annabelle in Nature style.
So then on
yeah.
the... That was a good kill. That was a fun
While
kill.
this is happening, he's holding on to the EpiPen still, and Bobby is getting real bad.
He's getting real bad. And how does Bobby die?
Bobby dies because he's crawling over to get the EpiPen, right? Lucky him that he has no
Right.
metal on him. He's in his
Oh, I
athleisure
know
wear.
what
And so he finally gets to the EpiPen, stabs in his leg, and he's coming back to normal. This MRI machine
back to
is
normal.
getting so big on the charged up from the magnet that even stuff outside the room is starting to pull. And so a nurse or an aide or whatever comes around after her lanyard, her tag starts to pull and sees all this stuff getting pulled to the room. And so she's like, what the heck? She opens the door and sees, obviously, Eric sucked into the machine. And then, are you okay? And Bobby's coming back to normal. He goes, yeah, I'm okay. And then, and then the spring from the vending machine.
Right in the face. And the funny thing is that it's a big spring, but not that big, but it just splits his
And
face
it's still
open.
screwing. It's moving.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a... Oh, my God. So now we got the
There's
three people left.
left. There's the mom, Stephanie, and then the brother, Charlie.
The brother. Fun little joke was mom gets into the driver's seat to drive the RV back to Iris's house because now the family's plan is death is
It's coming for
now
him.
going to go to mom. It's going for mom now. So mom is going to make sure the kids are alive by living the life of Iris.
That's right.
That's the
Yep.
plan. And mom's driving, and when she pulls out, nice little gag, haha. They almost get smacked by a truck pulling
logger, yeah.
logs. Which would, may I just say though, would it be better for the ending of this movie to do what they did the last time, since you see that log semi, to have the ending of this movie be the people in the second movie getting on the expressway?
No, I don't think so.
this be
But
prequel
it
as
did
well?
kind of end with two people getting killed by the logs, though, right?
Talk about that. You're right. Yeah. So then, now they drive to Iris's house, and death is taking a form. Right? It's kind of like a smoke in a way. Like you could see some things, not really, and they're trying to get in because for some reason they feel that if mom can get inside, then everything will be okay.
This all happens pretty quick. They bust their way into the house. They're trying to get into the house because I think that's like the safe place. But like Stephanie's seatbelt gets stuck because she's driving. She can't get out. She's like, well, you go ahead. I'll stay in here. So they try to go in, but like the gas leak happens inside the house. And then like the short happens in one of the lights, causes some sparks to fly into the house. House blows up. And
Mom blows up.
Mom blows up, but she survives. So her and Charlie wake up after getting blasted. And Mom's like, I'm okay. I'm going to protect you now. And as soon as she says that, because obviously something, been blown up, a telephone pole flattens her.
Smashes them, right? And it's like, what's really fun about this movie, too, is that there's no pain with these deaths either. Like, all of these deaths in these movie are instant
I'd
instant
say
deaths. Like, the
Eric's
only one
getting
that
sucked into the MRI machine was probably pretty painful.
that was bad, and then the uncle, right?
Yeah. Well, the uncle
The uncle-
probably
the-
felt
the
that.
uncle.
I'd imagine that Julia
Right.
probably felt being crushed as well too. So
Julia. Oh yeah. Never mind. Okay, never mind. So I backtrack, right? Because I was thinking of Iris. She gets it right through the face. She's dead. Bobby, right in the face. He's
yeah,
dead.
yeah.
You know, instant. Right. Like there's not a lot of feeling.
Headshot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, why the explosion happened, that also toppled over the RVs in this little makeshift pond that Iris had. So now Stephanie is drowning. Mom's now dead. So then a brother goes in to try to save her, gets a pocket knife. He gets the sharpest pocket knife you can, gets it stuck in his finger. Ugh, right?
Yeah.
And he's trying to cut the seatbelt. Screen goes black, and he saves her. They beat death. She drowned.
Yeah, they found it.
They found it.
Does CPR. She comes
I'm the
back.
world's.
Yep. And then they're living their life normal. All right, hooray! They
Yeah.
did it. Happy endings for everybody.
Living their life normal. He found the little red spot that all of us men have been trying to find for decades.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to do that joke. That was tasteless. That was so tasteless. I don't care. I don't
Amazing.
care. Sorry, but yes. So now, Bob. So now, what's the youngest? We always call him the youngest throughout this review.
Charlie.
But the youngest brother, Charlie, is going to take a girl out to prom or something, and then train gets derailed. Stephanie goes,
From a penny.
"Oh my God, wait a minute." Yeah, from a penny. Stephanie's like, "Oh my God, my heart didn't." Yeah, that's right, because the prom date's dad is a doctor, and he was like, "Man, that was really scary that you almost died." And she was like, "Almost?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, because for you to drown, it would have to be so and so minutes. You know, you just passed out.
Yeah.
You know, your heart
So
heart didn't
a
stop."
few callbacks on this because in the opening when Iris was at the sky view, not only did all that happen from a penny, a lot of it happened from a penny, not all of it, but a lot of it. So the same thing happened in this one as well too, where the penny derails a train, but also Stephanie's finger gets poked in the same way that Iris's does in the beginning too. So we kind of have a bookend of a movie here, where it
Okay, that's a
ends
good
the same
point.
way that it starts.
Right. And then her and Charlie get crushed by these logs. Instant death. Crushed. Done.
Yep, exactly. The train gets derailed. It
Roll
goes on
credits.
the road. They are running, and then suddenly, like some logs from the back, just get them both.
Smash.
Roll credits.
Smashes them. So, our popcorn ratings for Final Destination Bloodlines. You know, this is the first time I will say that a movie with the subtitle Bloodlines is actually good. Remember the last time we did that was Pet Sematary. Oof.
Yikes!
Anytime like a horror movie says blah blah Bloodlines, it's usually really bad. I said in the beginning that I was excited for this movie because of the reviews, and I'm really happy about it. I am going to give this movie a large, only because I find it fun. I don't think it's film of the year material. I don't. But for what it was a great review with you, and that means it was a fun movie to talk about. So what else would you give it other than a large? The actors were fun. The kills were all over the place. It was a fun time to go back to a franchise that I have forgotten about. So it was fun for me, a large bag for me. Eric, what is your popcorn rating for Final Destination Bloodlines?
I had a lot of fun with this movie, but I can't really put it past like the same of like The Monkey, where I'll probably just give it a medium, just because. Listen, I'm not trying to say that I didn't enjoy it. I liked this movie a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. I liked the way that they explained the bloodlines and the map. That's great. Everyone involved in this movie they did fine. They didn't have to do a crazy job acting, but they did their job, and I thought it was just a good time, and hoot and holler and good time. Like, it was just fun. They made a lot of nods to old kills from other Final Fantasies or not Final Fantasies, Final Destinations, or they other nuts from like other movies. Like for instance, Eric, when after the tattoo parlor, and he's walking in the street at the day after, and he does this thing where it's like, "What, do you think I was gonna die? I'm what if I'm unkillable? I'm invincible," type of thing. As he's backing into the road, right, and you already know, oh, watch out for the truck is gonna hit him, and then sure enough, vroom, but it doesn't hit him. It goes right behind him. Woo, kind of thing. So, it's fun. I really think they did a good job with it, but I don't know. I can't seem to just put it in like this Uber territory of like, oh my god, best movie, large bag type of thing. So no. I had a lot of fun with this movie, but I also had a lot of fun with the monkey. I don't see myself like watching this again anytime soon. I would recommend it to people if you're a fan of the franchise, or if you're just a fan of like silly campy gore in the beginning. I think it's a fun movie. It's a fine movie. It's a date night movie. This is most absolutely what that's for. I think that's why it's doing well in the theaters, just because it's almost 2 hours though. I don't know if a shorter runtime would have done a little bit better, but whatever. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. I don't know how they would do another movie of this. Just like you said, I feel like if they were to, just like you said, it would ruin any momentum that they have with this one. But we'll see. I don't know how they would do it. So yeah, I medium with like a lot of butter on it, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, because for me, a popcorn rating to give a movie a large, I have to have fun with, and I had a lot of fun. I didn't think I was, and I think that's why I give it a large, man. Because, like I said, I kind of came in arms folded a little bit till I started seeing the reviews, and that opening sky view stuff was great, and it just got me hook, line, and sinker. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, large for me, medium for you. That's okay. It's not film of the year territory. I'm okay with that. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com or wherever, of course, you get your podcast from. And Eric, thanks so much for joining me. We'll be back next Thursday for another awesome episode. Have a good night.
Let's go.
Look at the head on that. Looks nice.
It's a nice looking summer beer there. You probably take that down in two gulps.
I'm going to make sure you try this at the fair this year. Here's cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers. Here, I'll get. Stings the nostrils. Yeah, you having a hard time choking that down?
That's refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. I like that.
It tastes like a loss?
Tastes like a win. Tastes like victory.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go that way with
it. Tastes so good, makes you want to take the Ohio flag and stick it in the middle of the 50-yard line, huh?